on, and they can run it back inside later.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
On second down, Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
On third down, Jackson forced out to his left. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Here's a guy on his 4th franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. Time to go.
On second down and 4, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
From the gun on third, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Dancing to his left. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jones. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. And
brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
36 to Mike. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
To the air yet again. Watson. It's complete. Stills. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
They're running it.
We're scoreless after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us there.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to keep it here. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. 20, 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long. It's Watson. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney merciless in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Bandit.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Where's that? 19. 26.
After the interception, here's Watson. And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 44.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation. They find him.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, P. Big serious.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Watson looks to throw again. He's going deep for Brown. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Ravens take over 1st and
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On the ground, Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 16.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run on first down. Ingram. He will push his way down to about the 14. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Let's go. I got you. Son. I got you. You're all mine.
Jackson from the shotgun. Snead's got it. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Check, 29-yard line. Coming this way.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 42. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, hold on. Watch the screen.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. Roberts has it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because
and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly.
And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And that is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
A 38-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. But wait up now, a flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first.
Let's go.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson steps away, and he will score! Touchdown, Baltimore! Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I we enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All day, every day.
Throwing is Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 17-yard line. Jackson now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Jackson being chased out left. He'll run it, and he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Running with Kamara, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 25 yards out. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
I'm going to forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Watson. And that's complete to Gates. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. On first down, it's Watson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Muscles by at the 25. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Kamara. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They run. It's Kamara. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.